Today we shall talk about functional strategy. Functional strategy is the approach a functional area takes to achieve corporate and business unit objectives and strategies by maximizing resource productivity. It is concerned with developing and nurturing a distinctive competence to provide a company or business unit with a competitive advantage. Just as a multi-divisional corporation has several business units, each with its own business strategy, each business unit too has its own set of departments, each with its own functional strategy. The orientation of a functional strategy is dictated by its parent business unit's strategy. For example, a business unit following a competitive strategy of differentiation through high quality would need a manufacturing functional strategy that emphasizes expensive quality assurance processes over cheap, high volume production. It would need a human resource functional strategy that emphasizes the hiring and training of a highly skilled but costly workforce, and a marketing functional strategy that emphasizes distribution channel pull using advertising, which highlights the high quality of its products to increase consumer demand. The push strategy using promotional allowances to retailers might not be of much value in this case. If a business unit were to follow a low-cost competitive strategy, however, a different set of functional strategies would be needed to support the business strategy. The functional areas we shall be talking about are as follows: marketing functional area, financial strategy, research and development strategy, operations strategy, purchasing strategy, logistics, human resource, and information technology as a functional area. Marketing functional area and the strategies which can be used. Marketing strategy deals with pricing, selling, promotion, and distribution of a product. There are various strategies which may be used in the functional area of marketing. Using a market development strategy, a company or business unit can 1. Capture a larger share of an existing market for current products through market saturation and market penetration, or 2. Develop new users and or markets for current products. For example, consumer product giants such as Procter & Gamble, Colgate-Palmolive, and Unilever are experts at using advertising and promotion to implement a market saturation or market penetration strategy to gain the dominant market share in a product category. These companies are able to extend the product life almost indefinitely through new and improved variations of the product and packaging that appeal to most market niches. Similarly, the product development strategy can be used by a company or a unit to 1. Develop new products for existing markets, and 2. Develop new products for a new market. Promoting a product may once again use diverse strategies. For example, a company or business unit can choose between push and pull marketing strategies. Coca-Cola has a wide distribution network with a push strategy in which they use its sales force and trade promotion money to induce intermediaries by giving trade schemes, free PET bottles, mini Frigidaires, etc. to retailers, distributors, or agencies to carry, promote, and sell the product to end users, that is, customers. Coca-Cola also uses a pull strategy in which they are using promotions and advertisements to persuade customers to ask intermediaries for the company brand products. So they use danglers, display racks, standees, mobile chargers, and also sponsor a host of different sporting events. Now, distribution marketing strategies do offer a lot of options. Should a company use distributors and dealers to sell its products? Or should it sell directly to mass merchandisers? Or use a direct marketing model by selling straight to the consumers via the internet? These are some of the choices available today. Again, Pricing offers quite a few strategic variations. For example, when pricing a new product, a company or business unit can follow one of the two strategies. For new product pioneers, skim pricing offers the opportunity to skim the cream from the top of the demand curve with a high price while the product is novel and competitors are few. Penetration pricing, in contrast, attempts to hasten market development and offers the pioneer the opportunity to use the experience curve to gain market share with a low price and then dominate the industry. Next, we talk about financial strategy. Financial strategy examines the financial implications of corporate and business level strategic options and identifies the best financial course of action. It can also provide competitive advantage through a lower cost of funds and a flexible ability to raise capital to support a business strategy. Financial strategy usually attempts to maximize the financial value of a firm. The trade-off between achieving the desired debt-to-equity ratio and relying on internal long-term financing via cash flow is a key issue in financial strategy. Many small and medium-sized family-owned companies try to avoid all external sources of funds in order to avoid outside entanglements and to keep control of the company within the family. A few large publicly held firms have no long-term debt and instead keep a large amount of money in cash and short-term investments. One such example is Apple. According to Apple's Chief Financial Officer, Peter Oppenheimer, our preference is to maintain a strong balance sheet in order to preserve our flexibility. Unquote. Overall, strategy has a major influence on financing decision. So we can see that corporate diversification strategy of a firm shall have implications for its financial strategy. Equity financing, for example, is preferred for related diversification, whereas debt financing is preferred for unrelated diversification. The management of dividends and stock price is also an important part of a company's financial strategy portfolio. Corporations and fast-growing companies such as computers and computer software often do not declare dividends. They use the money they might have spent on dividends to finance rapid growth. Then some companies are also opting for novel financial strategies. A rather novel financial strategy is the selling of a company's patents. Companies such as AT&T and American Express have been selling patents for products that they no longer wish to commercialize or are not a part of their core business. Next, we talk about research and development strategy and operations strategy. Research and development strategy deals with product and process innovation and improvement. It also deals with the appropriate mix of different types of research and development, which could be basic, product, or process, and with the question of how new technology should be accessed, that is, through internal development, external acquisition, or strategic alliances. One of the research and development choices is to be either a technological leader, pioneering an innovation, or to be a technological follower, that is, imitating the products of competitors. Nike has been successfully using the technological leadership strategy to develop a competitive advantage. Nike spends more than most in the industry on research and development to differentiate the performance of its athletic shoes from that of its competitors. A new approach to research and development is something known as an open innovation. In this, a firm uses alliances and connections with corporate, government, academic labs, and even consumers to develop new products and processes. For example, Intel opened 4 small-scale research facilities adjacent to universities to promote the cross-pollination of ideas. Procter & Gamble instituted the use of technology scouts to search beyond the company for promising innovations. Next, we come to operations strategy. Operations strategy determines how and where a product or service is to be manufactured, the level of vertical integration in the production process, the deployment of physical resources, and the relationship with suppliers. I shall be throwing light on advanced manufacturing technology, modular manufacturing, and mass customization. Advanced manufacturing technology or AMT is revolutionizing operations worldwide and should continue to have a major impact as corporations strive to integrate diverse business activities by using computer-assisted design and manufacturing, that is CAD and CAM principles. Another favored strategy is of modular manufacturing. The automobile industry is currently experimenting with the strategy of modular manufacturing in which pre-assembled sub-assemblies are delivered as they are needed, that is, just in time, to a company's assembly line workers who quickly piece the modules together into a finished product. Mass customization is another favored strategy today. Appropriate for an ever-changing environment, mass customization requires that people, processes, units, and technology reconfigure themselves to give customers exactly what they want and when they want it. In the case of Dell computers, customers use the internet to design their own computers. Thus, mass customization requires flexibility and quick responsiveness. The next we talk about purchasing strategy. Purchasing strategy deals with obtaining the raw materials, parts, and supplies needed to perform the operations function. The basic purchasing choices are multiple sole and parallel sourcing. Under multiple sourcing, the purchasing company orders a particular part from several vendors. Multiple sourcing has traditionally been considered superior to other purchasing approaches because it forces suppliers to compete for the business of an important buyer, thus reducing purchasing costs. And second, if one supplier cannot deliver, another usually can, thus guaranteeing that parts and supplies are always on hand when needed. Multiple sourcing has been one way for a purchasing firm to control the relationship with its suppliers. Sole sourcing relies on only one supplier for a particular part. In parallel sourcing, it is two suppliers who are the sole suppliers for two different parts, but they also act as backup suppliers for each other's parts. So if a vendor cannot supply all of its parts on one time, then the other vendor is asked to make up for the difference. Next, we talk about the logistics strategy. Logistics strategy deals with the flow of products into and out of the manufacturing process. Three trends related to this strategy are evident. So we have centralization, outsourcing, and the use of internet. To gain logistical synergies across business units, corporations began centralizing logistics in the headquarters. Companies such as Marriott and Union Carbide view the logistics function as an important way to differentiate themselves from the competition, to add value, and to reduce costs. Many companies have found that outsourcing logistics reduces costs and improves delivery time. Many companies are also using the internet to simplify their logistical system. For example, Walmart has created an online system for its retailers and suppliers. Coming to human resource strategy, HRM, among other things, addresses the issue of hiring, training, induction, manpower retention, compensation, and appraisal. So we have self-managed work teams. As work increases in complexity, the more suited it is for teams, especially in the case of innovative product development efforts. The strategy to hire skilled employees to receive relatively high pay and are cross-trained to participate in self-managing work teams makes sense. Multinational corporations are increasingly using self-managing work teams in their foreign affiliates as well as in the home country operations. 360 degrees appraisal is another one. Companies following a competitive strategy of differentiation through high-quality use inputs from subordinates and peers in performance appraisals to a greater extent than do firms following other business strategies. A complete 360-degree appraisal in which input is gathered from multiple sources is now being used by more and more companies. Diverse workforce. Companies are finding that having a diverse workforce can be a competitive advantage. Firms with a high degree of racial diversity following a growth strategy have higher productivity than do firms with less racial diversity. Diversity in terms of age and national origin also offers benefits. DuPont's use of multinational teams has helped the company develop and market products internationally. McDonald's has discovered that older workers perform as well, if not better, than younger employees. After human resource, we come to information technology strategy. Corporations are increasingly using information technology strategically to provide business units with competitive advantage. Multinational corporations are finding that having a sophisticated intranet allows employees to practice follow the sun management, in which project team members living in one country can pass their work to team members in another country in which the workday is just beginning. Thus, night shifts are no longer needed. The development of instant translation software is also enabling workers to have online communication with co-workers in other countries who use a different language. IBM uses its intranet to allow its employees to collaborate and improve their skills, thus reducing its training and travel expenses. Many companies, such as General Electric and Whirlpool, use information technology to form closer relationships with both their customers and suppliers through sophisticated extranets. For example, General Electric's trading process network allows suppliers to electronically download GE's requests for proposals, view diagrams of parts specifications, and communicate with GE purchasing managers. It can be seen that strategies for each functional area has to be aligned with the strategy being followed at business and corporate level. Now, these functional strategies are exactly what are implemented as far as functional implementation is concerned. Thank you.